Imagine a future where Latin America dominates global energy, where high-speed trains slash travel times through ancient jungles, and where cities once choked by traffic now glide on sleek, futuristic metros. This isn't science fiction. It's happening right now. From Mexico's $12 billion oil refinery to Chile's towering solar power plant in the desert, governments are betting billions on mega projects that could reshape the continent's destiny. But here's the explosive question. Are these engineering marvels paving the way for a new era of prosperity? Or are they ticking time bombs of debt, environmental destruction, and political chaos? Take Mexico's Tren Maya, a 1,500-kilometer railway cutting through the heart of the Yucatan jungle. Supporters say it'll supercharge tourism and connect forgotten communities. Critics warn it's bulldozing sacred land and pushing endangered jaguars to extinction. Then there's Argentina's Vaca Muerta, a shale oil field so vast it could turn the country into the next Saudi Arabia, if fracking doesn't poison its water first. And in Colombia, Bogotá's long-awaited metro promises to end the city's infamous traffic hell. But only if politicians don't botch it like so many projects before. The stakes couldn't be higher. Will these projects lift millions out of poverty, or will they become white elephants buried in corruption and broken promises? In this video, we're going deep into the most ambitious and controversial mega projects transforming Latin America. Buckle up, because what you're about to see will change how you see the future of this region, for better or worse. Booming economies or billion-dollar disasters? Latin America is racing into the future with the most ambitious construction projects in its history. But at what cost? Right now, deep in Mexican jungles, beneath Argentine deserts, and across Colombia's choked cities, engineers and workers are battling impossible deadlines, furious protests, and Mother Nature herself to complete projects that could redefine an entire continent. This isn't just construction. This is war against time, money, and sometimes common sense. And you're about to see the front lines. First stop, Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, where chainsaws roar day and night. Why? Because President López Obrador is personally overseeing the Tren Maya, a 1,500-kilometer railway being carved straight through ancient jungle. The promise? To connect tourist cash cows like Cancun with forgotten Mayan villages. The reality? Satellite images show a scar of deforestation wider than some highways. But here's where it gets wild. Engineers are literally building bridges for jaguars. That's right, special wildlife crossings because they're bulldozing so much habitat. Meanwhile, luxury Extrapolis trains meant to glide at 160 kilometers per hour sit idle in warehouses while workers rush to meet an impossible deadline. One question haunts this project. Is this about helping Mexicans, or just creating a legacy before the next election? Now let's talk about the most expensive gas station in history. The Dos Bocas Refinery. $12 billion. 2 years behind schedule. And get this, experts say even when it finally opens, it might lose money on every barrel of oil it processes. But Mexico's president doesn't care. Why? Because right now, Mexico imports 80% of its gasoline. And that's a national embarrassment. Construction sites here look like something out of Mad Max. Thousands of workers living in makeshift camps, working around the clock. They've had to redesign entire sections because the ground was too soft. The air smells like sulfur for miles. And the real kicker? The world is switching to electric cars just as this oil monster comes online. Smart investment or the worst timing ever? Picture this, a city where traffic moves so slow that people literally get out of buses to walk. Welcome to Bogota, Colombia, where the long-awaited metro isn't just infrastructure, it's a lifeline. After 70 years of empty promises, massive Chinese-made trains are finally arriving. But there's a catch. The original plan was underground. Then it became elevated. Then costs ballooned. Now, as cranes tower over the city, a brutal truth emerges. This $4.3 billion system might already be too small for a population exploding faster than anyone predicted. Will it be obsolete before it even opens? Or will it finally untangle the traffic nightmare that costs this city billions in lost productivity every year? Deep in Argentina's Patagonian desert, American and Chinese companies are waging a new kind of gold rush, except they're pumping out shale gas instead. Vaca Muerta means dead cow, but this field is very much alive, containing enough energy to power Argentina for decades. There's just one problem. To get it out, they're using enough water every day to fill 50 Olympic pools in one of the driest regions on Earth. The Mapuche people who've lived here for centuries are blockading roads. Earthquakes, once unheard of here, now regularly shake buildings. Yet for a country that's defaulted on its debt 9 times, this black gold might be the only way out of economic hell. Would you trade water for wealth? Argentina might not have a choice. And these are just the projects we can see. But what about the hidden costs? The political games, the communities being erased from the map? Because here's the uncomfortable truth. In the race to modernize, Latin America is making bets that could pay off spectacularly, or collapse under their own weight. And in our next segment, we'll reveal which projects are beating the odds, and which are already showing cracks in their foundations. Take this place. A solar tower so powerful it can generate electricity even at midnight. How? And why is Chile's success story the exception rather than the rule? That's coming next. We've seen the stakes, jungles cleared, cities transformed, deserts drilled. But now Chile is rewriting the rules with a project that doesn't just chase progress, it reinvents it. Behold, Cerro Dominador, a solar fortress rising from the Atacama Desert, where 10,600 mirrors focus sunlight onto a 250-meter tower, superheating molten salt to power 380,000 homes. Even after sunset, this isn't just energy, it's alchemy. And while Mexico bets on oil and Argentina on fracking, Chile's gamble could pay off for generations. But let's be real. This tower almost collapsed before it stood. Original builders went bankrupt. Chinese investors swooped in. Now it's running at full throttle, slashing CO2 emissions, while fossil fuel projects elsewhere spark protests. The lesson? Renewable energy isn't just cleaner, it's becoming cheaper. So why isn't every country racing to copy this? Here's the brutal truth. These mega projects are mirrors. They reflect what nations value most: short-term gains or long-term survival. The Tren sacrifices ecosystems for tourism. Vaca Muerta trades water for oil wealth. But Cerro Dominador, it proves development doesn't have to be a zero-sum game. Yet the biggest question remains: who actually benefits? For every farmer displaced by the Tren, every Mapuche activist arrested near Vaca Muerta, there's a politician taking credit. Real progress isn't measured in kilometers of track or barrels of oil. It's in lives changed. So as cranes keep moving and protests grow louder, ask yourself, is this the future Latin America deserves? One thing's certain, the world is watching. Because how these projects succeed or fail won't just shape a continent. It'll show us all what's possible and what's perilous. That's worth remembering.